I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like. Hey, what's up, world? Welcome to another edition of I Mix What I Like Live. I'm Jared Ball, happy again to be host. Please, right away, do all the subscribing, liking, sharing, retweeting, all of that. Please get your comments and questions together. Put them in the chat. We will be getting to our guest in just a minute. And I'll just get this out the way right now. I mean, we're going to be talking, obviously, with Brother Christian Smalls, who earlier this year, really set off what shouldn't be a controversy, but he heightened some contradictions and made it known that there were some terrible things happening around him in the warehouse at Amazon where he was working in Staten Island, New York. And as a response, was summarily let go, demonized within the inner communicative networks of Amazon, and has since gone on to create one of the, I think, most exciting firestorms nationally and beyond, and really internationally, encouraging and supporting other Amazon employees and other working people just in general to further organize, unionize, strike, etc., but also have to alert so many of the rest of us to not only what was going on in Amazon, but what's happening really all over the place with working people. And for me personally, reminding us of the importance of the labor movement in particular, and even more specifically, the relationship that Black people here have played in the history of the labor movement, which I think is something that's really important and very much under discussed and underappreciated. So he's just alerted me he's on his way. So I at least wanted to take care of that part. So when he gets here, we can jump right in. In the meantime, I will just again encourage people to not only subscribe and everything here, but check out and please do subscribe to imixwhatilike.org, which houses not only all of these videos and much more, but so much more of the work that I and my colleagues and comrades and others have been doing for really more than 2 decades now. So there's a lot of great content there. It's all free. Please get it. Of course, you can get my new book, The Myth and Propaganda of Black Buying Power, also for free. So please do check all of that out there as well. Shout out to the good people out there in Accra. Thank you very much. We see you. Arif, shout out to all of West Africa and beyond. Thank you for joining us in Cali. Love back to you. And again, anybody else getting their comments or questions ready, please do line all that up. I also will just take a quick minute because I am very excited about this. And we're going to be talking a lot more about that, including really very soon. But I will just break some news here very happily that I am excitedly now a member of the African and African American Diaspora Studies program at Morgan State University, something I'm going to help Dr. Brewer and many other, Dr. Ngom, other people over the build over the next few years. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that from me in the spaces I'm at. And we'll be bringing more of those folks doing that work over there into these spaces as well. So stay tuned for that. And on that note as well, so I'm very excited about that. Don't let, if I'm at all reserved, please don't be confused. This is big. I'm very excited and cannot wait. So I'm very happy to share that here as well. Same thing. Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you very much. And it's also just very good to be back in the Africana Studies world, where officially speaking, I haven't been in a minute. So that's just in general. This is and the In the Black podcast was dope. And yeah, so please check that out. If you haven't seen it, you can get the link at imixwhatilike.org as well, and a link to their site as well. So I appreciate you. So let me not hold anybody up. The brother is here. Let me welcome him into the program. As I said just a minute ago, Brother Christian Smalls is in the building. So let's bring him on in. And I want to thank him again for joining us. And before we get to anything, Chris, because I do want to be able to take the time while we're here to invite people to support you to whatever extent they can financially, because I know you're doing a lot of good work, which I'm sure we're going to get to in a minute. But please double check that I have the Cash App correct down on the scroll there. And if anything needs to be corrected, let's go. So anyway, I've already done the intro. I talked a little bit about who you are, your background, but to the extent that you want to go over any of that again, please just jump on in and tell us a little bit about what you saw at Amazon, what sparked all of your actions. And then of course we want to get to where we are today. And then as soon as people start putting comments and chats in, we'll bring that in as well. But again, I thank you very much and welcome to I Mix What I Like.
Thank you. I appreciate this this opportunity to tell this story. Once again, for those who don't know, my name is Chris Smalls, former Amazon employee, now founder of my organization, TCOEW, the Congress of Essential Workers. Been working with Amazon since 2015. Opened up 3 major buildings for them in the tri-state area: New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. New York was my last building. New Jersey was my first. And what I've seen at Amazon over the course of my tenure was, unsafe working conditions, long hours, pretty much putting profit above people. And then when COVID-19 came into play, now you're talking a life or death situation where people are getting sick, contracting this deadly virus, and we were unprotected. So what I did was I tried to go through the proper channels. That didn't work. Took further action. That didn't work. And after that, I held a protest outside of my former facility in Staten Island, New York. 2 hours after that demonstration, I was fired. A week later, Jeff Bezos himself, the richest man in the world, decided to have a meeting to run a smear campaign on me, pretty much trying to demean my character and my credibility. But I embraced this position and the platform, and I pretty much started fighting back over the last pretty much 8 months now since I've been terminated. And here we are today, still doing the same thing, advocating for the same things and more with this organization that I founded.
I think in some ways you were even polite in describing it, but I think it's interesting that, the way they tried to initially respond to you follows sort of a pattern historically of how, myths and propaganda are developed to target people, to discredit them. Some of those internal memoranda that they were talking about, or the phone calls or whatever that was revealed in however it was revealed, I don't even remember to be honest. But it was talking about your intellect, saying that, and then saying that they wouldn't have to worry about you initially because you wouldn't have the capability to organize and have people respond positively to what you were doing. And then also they were talking about developing a media campaign to discredit you publicly, so that if in fact you were somewhat successful in overcoming these, all of these alleged barriers, that the message wouldn't take hold. So I think that your ability to not only circumvent all of that, not only disproves what they were saying, but shows the power of people's ability to organize when they hear and see what is actually going on. So I just wanted to highlight that a little bit for anybody who wasn't really clear about what was happening there, and maybe invite you even to say anything more about that I didn't get right or say fully enough.
Yeah, this is it's funny because it's not what they said was quote, I'm not smart or articulate, and it's not just about targeting any type of people. We're talking about specifically Black people. Mm-hmm. And this is what the stigma is in our Black community, is that we're not smart enough, we're stupid enough to do things and don't have credibility to speak up on certain things. And that's how capitalism works. I think Malcolm X said it is, you can't have capitalism without racism. and people at the top that make the decisions are predominantly white, and we all know that. And this is how they crush and exploit a class of people. And it starts out by saying that I'm not smart or articulate. It's pretty much saying that I'm too stupid, or I'm not smart enough to speak up on certain things or know what's going on with the company, when really it's the opposite. I've been with the company long enough to know the ins and out of the company. They don't even know their own policies. All they do is sit and make the money and make the profit at the end of the day. But they're making it off the expense of the workers, which is us. So that's showing how extreme they're really willing to go. The richest man in the world, somebody who makes $9 million an hour, almost $4,000 a second, $13 billion a day, deciding to crush somebody who makes less than 35,000. That just tells you right there, it's a shame what's going on. And I'm just happy that I'm not happy of how it came out, but I'm happy that it did come out, because the truth got exposed about what we're dealing with, and gave me a better perspective on how to fight this fight.
So tell us a little bit about that, how you fought this fight, and where it again stands today. I know you talked about the new organization that you've put together, and definitely want to have you repeat and elaborate on some of that. But what has it been like to and let me even ask this first. Did you have before, because I forgot to do this, by the way, while other maybe more famous HBCUs have, people like, elected, vice president elects and all this other kind of stuff that want to get all this attention, we were the first to host you at Morgan State. So I'm very proud of that. And I want to highlight that as well. Well, I just lost my thought on that. But anyway, I got all caught up in that. But you anyway, so talk a little bit about this. It'll come back to me. But talk a little bit about the fight you've waged. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was the question I was going to ask. Before you got into all of this, did you have any introduction or background in labor movement or Black radical history, or just Black history in general? Were you already attuned to this? Like were you already, as they say, sort of primed for this kind of response to the situation? I'm always kind of curious about that. When people sort of get introduced to some of these traditions that they become really some powerful exemplars of,
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I'll be honest. So, I was just a regular supervisor and concerned supervisor, and a family man, father, a single parent, just trying to do the right thing. And I pretty much started learning as I went. When I got terminated, I was catapulted into the media spotlight, so I had to deal with that. Didn't know how to handle that. You go back to my early interviews, you can see the transition of how I pretty much got the confidence and continue to educate on what's going on with the labor movement, and then figure out a way to make a better way. And I wasn't an organizer. People try to say that I was a part of a union. I wasn't a part of anything. I was just trying to do the right thing, as a decent human being should have done. But I am now. I embrace the position. I embrace the activism and the organizing efforts, and definitely read up on my history, or continue to read up on my history. I get sent a number of books all the time now. So I got a stack of books over here. I'm reading, and I'm trying to do the work at the same time and organize my organization at the same time. It's a lot going on, but over the last several months, I could tell you that we definitely nationwide, my organization has traveled the country throughout the midst of the pandemic, still putting our own lives at risk. And we've done it because we know that it's necessary for this information. And Amazon employees are all essential workers to get this information. This is certain things they will never hear in the media. So we have to control our own narrative. So I think what we're doing is definitely a step in the right direction.
No, well, first of all, I mean, I appreciate you shared what you shared, but I mean, just personally, I always thought from jump that you did remarkably well, because I think it is, it is somewhat of a learned craft in some cases to be able to, especially in commercial media spaces that you've been in, to be able to quickly narrow down the argument and be clear. I mean, that takes, for some of us at least, and you seem to get it almost immediately. And I wouldn't even say us, because I'm not able to do it. But those who are able to do it sometimes have to learn it through practice. You seem to have picked it up pretty quickly. I thought you did remarkably well. So, but I also appreciate you saying that it is something that you have to develop as a skill almost in trying to get the message and the clarity and all of that. And I also appreciate that you said something that happens that is just the best way to learn about struggle is to be in it. So, and we're not taught these histories. So I'm always just curious. Anyway, so I appreciate all of that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, ironically, Amazon sort of prepared me for this.
How about that?
the principles they teach us at the job, the leadership principles, you can apply them to life, and they have good principles to work, to have in the workplace. But the funny thing is they don't really utilize them the right way as well. They utilize them for leadership skills, and they utilize them for management to get promoted up. Like, these are the principles, like 14 of them. But my favorite one was have a backbone and commit. and I was good for having a backbone at Amazon. Everybody knew me as a supervisor that pretty much who I am today. I speak up if something's not going right with my department or with my shift or something, and I speak up to the bosses. I say, hey, look, this ain't working. We need to try something else. So I always had the backbone. The commitment part is another aspect of it. You got to make sure that you're following through. So that's basically what I'm doing. I had a backbone to speak up, and now I've committed myself to trying to see it all the way through to the end. So that's what I'm doing. I'm utilizing their skills on them.
So we have this question here about your organization being international, and in fact, I'm gonna, with your permission, I'd like to just edit your name to include the initials of TCE. Say TCEOW, right?
TCO
TCOEW.com
.org.
All right. So one, is it international? And because in fact we just saw a video of a sister doing something. It seemed like she was in maybe England or France, responding to the Amazon situation there. So is it international? And then tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're worldwide, and it's because this story was worldwide. I've been, I don't know, over 200 something countries already. As far as like interviews and media attention. Actually, my last demonstration in Seattle, Washington, we were being broadcasted recorded for a documentary that's going to be released in Tokyo, Japan. So we definitely are worldwide, international. I always reach out in solidarity to the UK, Europe, and Germany, Deem 25. These are overseas organizations that I definitely stand in solidarity with. Every time we do demonstrations, it seems to be at the same time. We always somehow, some way, even if we don't even communicate, we have the same mindset on protesting or demonstrating on these same exact dates. And then it always comes together. We always get tied into the same articles. So absolutely, it's international. Amazon facilities are international. They're everywhere. So there's 1 million plus employees worldwide. And I think they all, even in other countries, they also had their own grievances that they definitely seen my story and related to. So it's been great to see that this movement has now become a global movement.
So you said it was, and made the important point of highlighting the specific conditions or issues of Black workers. Your starting point of focus. Could we talk a little bit about that? Are the conditions, or to what extent are the conditions or the treatment, is the treatment as you saw it at Amazon, and even as it's been discussed with you since you've left, of Black workers here in the United States?
Yeah, this it's systemic racism in the company as well. It's no secret there, you know. 1 million plus employees, and only 8% of management, of upper management, is either Black or brown. Only 8% out of 1 million plus people. That tells you right there, you know, there's something systemically wrong there. The higher up the food chain, the less and less color you're going to see, and people of color, and that's a problem by itself. You know, even my own experience, I was in the same position for 4 years. It only takes 2 years to become a salaried manager, but they kept me in the same hourly position for 4 years, assisting salaried managers and training salary managers. So year after year, I'm training hundreds of my bosses. And it's like, you know, they come in with less experience, less knowledge of the company, and I'm supposed to train them to be, to not only get paid more than me, but to be my boss. And when it came time for my promotion, I would expect them to return the favor and promote me up, but it never happened. Because, like I said, if you watch and follow my story, you learn who I am as a person, my character. You can see that my character didn't fit Amazon's culture. You know, you know, they want somebody that they can, you know, pretty much tell what to do, and they're going to have no pushback. They don't like, even though their principals saying have a backbone, they don't want you to utilize that at all. They want you.
That's not what they mean, right?
They want you to you know, yes sir, yes ma'am, and that's it. Do your job. You know, shut up and go home. Pretty much. You know, they claim that they have a system that works for employees where they can voice their concerns. Yeah, they take certain things, but it's like it's not the things that we really need. And that's what we see. You know, we see that my story pretty much correlates to the systemic racism that exists inside Amazon.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know to what extent you got a chance to look or consider this, but I did mention and I'm going to pull it up here, that I wanted to ask you about something specifically that came up in an article we were talking about the other day, specific to Black businesses and Amazon, and the impact of Amazon on those businesses. So I'm going to pull the article up here. This part I wanted us to ask you about. Well, I wanted to ask you about specifically, and it's in the context of this Black business owner, Matthew Goins, owner of Puzzle Huddle, and this is from a December 4th article in the Wall Street Journal, and I've linked to it in another video, but I'll put it in this one as well for those if they want to follow up on it. But anyway, but specifically, it says here. Matthew Goins, owner of Puzzle Huddle, said he was grateful to be included in Oprah's list and is currently receiving more than 100 orders a day for puzzles, a logistical challenge since he runs his fulfillment operation out of his home in Washington, D.C. And then most specifically for you, Chris, I wanted to ask, because he's talking about one of the issues that makes it difficult for him to not only satisfy his orders, but get more orders and more percentage of the money, is because people order through Amazon. And then he says here that he said he is working hard to turn those shoppers, that is those who order through Amazon, into loyal customers. That task is tougher because some people are buying through Amazon.com Inc., which is sponsored by Miss Winfrey's List. Amazon doesn't share email addresses that direct to customer businesses like Puzzle Huddle rely upon to market products, Mr. Goins said. Amazon is wonderful, but there are pros and cons to when you sell a product to a person on Amazon. He said, quote, "That's Amazon's customer," end quote. Could you elaborate and explain more for us what that means when again someone orders a product, and even if it's for a Black owned business that they want to support, but they're ordering it through Amazon, and then as he says there, they become Amazon's customer, not necessarily the customer of the people they're ordering from. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is for all the the independent sellers on Amazon.com. Pretty much, what the company does is no secret now because they're being sued for it with the antitrust union from Congress, even in the UK. You may have seen that article as well a few weeks ago. Amazon collects all the data. It sells data. It pretty much harnesses this data and utilizes it against the independent seller. So, for example, Mark, if your business is starting to pick up revenue, they know it. And what they're going to do is they're trying to minimize that to the best that they can, pretty much to the point where you're just getting just enough, not too much, not too much money where you're going to complain, to the media, but it's not enough. It should be more than what you should be actually getting. And it's because they're not tying your business to your actual product on purpose. They're doing that on purpose. That's how they control the market. That's controlling the market right there. And the way they put businesses out of business is for example, if your product that you're selling is doing numbers, doing great numbers, what they'll do is they'll create the same product and call it an Amazon owned product, like Amazon Echo, and just like Google came out with the Google whatever. Amazon's going to make the same product, call it an Amazon owned product, release this product, and now your business is going out. That's what Amazon does. It allows you just to eat just a little bit, breadcrumbs. And then when they see that you're like, oh, wow, this guy is really doing well. Let's, keep an eye on him. They have all your data. They sell your data. They control your data.
Because that's their number one product, right? It's the data. It's not the shipping and all of that. It's the data control that is Amazon's number one.
Absolutely. It's the data. And they seeing the traffic that's coming to your websites. They watch and monitor all of that. So of course they're not going to give you credit if your product is doing good. They're going to make sure that it does just enough to stay on the market. But if it does too much, too well, what they're going to do is create a similar product and they're going to sell it on their own website and they're going to put you right out of business. So my advice to all independent sellers, get out of there as soon as you can. If you need to get up and get started, it's good to start up there. But after a while, you might want to sever ties because you would never succeed. And if you do, they're going to sell your data. They're going to put you out of business by creating a product that's similar to it and putting it on their own website and claiming it as their own. And people will never know that you even invented it. That's why they don't tie your email to the actual product, because they don't want to know they don't want nobody to know where it came from. To do their homework and be like, oh, it came from especially a Black owned business. It's not going to happen, especially not with Amazon. Amazon loves controlling the market. That's what they do. They're number one for that.
So at least one message we can deliver today is that if you want to support Black owned businesses, go the extra step and order directly from them.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you should do. And I encourage all Black owned business people on here that's listening or tuning in, sever ties with Amazon. Sever ties. You don't need them. Especially now, a lot of people are supporting Black owned businesses because of what's been going on in this country. You have a good chance of thriving right now, just like they're thriving right now in the stock market. I know every day I try my best to support a local business or a Black owned business from here on out, especially after I've been fired from Amazon, especially. So I encourage everybody to do the same thing.
Now that was something else I want to ask you. Are you in your organization calling specifically for a boycott of Amazon? Are you asking for us to support just in general the work you're doing and highlighting the work that you all are doing? What is it that you all and workers at Amazon want from those of us on the outside?
Yeah. my organization absolutely called for a boycott. A lot of us, some of us are still current employees, so I won't put them out there, but a lot of us are not, including myself, and we're able to speak up on that. Just to know, let people know that employees can't really speak on boycotting, because that's definite way of being terminated. But people that don't work for Amazon and stand in solidarity with the movement, we're calling for a boycott, because we want customers. Amazon's most important thing is customer obsession. They want to make sure the customers always, are coming back, a returning customer. And they hate to see the public opinion turn negative. That's why every time there's something negative come out, they have a response. So the biggest way to hurt them is to take their customers away from them. So boycotting and canceling your Prime, stop shopping from them, standing in solidarity with the labor movement. That's what we're advocating for. Just a few of the things. What the workers want is totally different. We want, I don't want anymore. I want for them. For workers, for the workers that still work there, we want, protections, a decent living wage, childcare, Medicare, families that lost a loved one to have financial relief as well. There's a number of things that we're still advocating for, as workers.
You say that though, Chris, but Amazon reportedly pays its workers $15 an hour, and that's what people in Florida just had a vote and a whole struggle to get. So why isn't that progressive?
Yeah, I know it sounds good. $15 an hour is a big difference from $7.50. I understand that, but just think about where we are in productivity as a country. Since the 1980s, production in the country has grown 3 times the amount, and we're still being paid. If you go back 20 years ago, we're being paid the same minimum wage. So $15 an hour sounds good, but guess what? You break it down, $15 an hour, 15 times 40. That's the $600 they took away from us back in April from unemployment. It's not enough money. If you think that you're going to survive with $15 an hour, I can tell you now, I was capped out at $25 an hour, and I'm still living check to check.
What do you mean capped out at $25 an hour?
Capped out, meaning I've been with the company so long that I was an hourly associate. Remember, I was hourly. I was never salaried. I was an hourly associate, and they cap you out at $25 an hour, even as a supervisor. In the richest building in the entire network, JFK Staten Island is one of the richest buildings because of the location, the metropolitan area, and how much millions of dollars that building generate. We are the highest paid employees for Amazon. So I was the highest paid hourly associate at $25 an hour, working for the richest man in the world. And still, I had 2 jobs and still was struggling to make ends meet. If you think $15 an hour is going to cut it, I don't care if you're in a state that has no income tax, it's not a decent living wage. It's better. It's better, but it's not. You're in a different tax bracket. And we all know the more money you make, the harder the job. They're going to make it difficult. They're going to double down on the TOT process, on trying to make sure that everybody's in line with the policies, and they're going to wing you out. It's a high turnover company. They hire and fire all the time. So if you think you're going to stay there for years and retire in 2050, like my 401k used to say, making $15 an hour, it's not going to happen. So,
but just to correct me if I'm misunderstanding anything, but there's no cap on Bezos or other executives. It's
absolutely not.
So
made $88 billion. He made $88 billion in the past 8 months. I'm sorry, probably over that now. Over 90 billion. So there's no cap on that. So why would you want to cap, yourself as a worker?
I see this question here that actually resonates a lot with me, because I remember this being one of the number one issues I called out back in 07-08 at the beginning of Obama's rise to the presidency. that he was fronting on, but he ran promising to enact the Employee Free Choice Act, which is meant to help people unionize better within the workplace. And once he got elected, if I'm not mistaken, literally did not mention it ever again. So this question here about Biden enacting EFCA seems insane, given that
we got the same administration. No, it's not going to happen. And unfortunately, you know, we would love to see Biden do this, and it's not going to happen. You know, the unions in the country has been diminished down to what, 10%? You know, 10% of the country is unionized. That's it. You know, people think that unions, you know, everybody's like unionize. And they don't realize that it is hard. Not only hard, the government does not support it. Like it just doesn't. They support these corporations. As much as we want to believe and be blinded to the fact that, you know, the Democrats are finally going to do something for us, it's not going to happen. They have their hands right in Jeff Bezos' back pockets. They're going to shareholder parties and events. They're taking corporate money, donations. He's buying them off. He's paying for their private jets and everything too. They're tied together. So we cannot rely on either party to give us anything for especially for essential workers and unionizing. We have to do it ourselves. And how we do that, that's another conversation.
Yeah, I mean, a similar question here also about why are people scared to unionize at their workplace? Many jobs have crappy pay, workplace conditions, and discrimination, yet don't want to organize. I think you started to speak on this a little bit, but it's not as simple. I mean, in some places, even raising a question about a union to another worker will get you fired. So the idea that you can go from no union and a horrible workplace to a fully, you know, fledged and organized and populated union is I think wildly misunderstands the situation. Did you anything else you would want to?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, people gotta understand. I tried. I tried in the beginning. At you know, once people started to bring to my attention that we should unionize, this is what Amazon or any company would do. What they do is intimidation tactics by firing the people that speak up. Number one. Number two, just think about it. We're asking for things that they can correct. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to correct them first. Amazon has a system that runs like a union. You know, I've been in a union before, and you know, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't all the way good as well. You know, there were certain pros and cons as well. Amazon will take, you know, the same structure and utilize it to make sure that the workers, once again, just a bare minimum to the point where they won't complain anymore. So we're talking about money, are having a decent living wage. What they're going to do is, as you've seen, they're going to give out all these bonuses. Everybody gets $300 bonuses now for that month. But we forgot they get taxed as well. More taxes than Jeff Bezos pay. But once again, they'll give out a bonus, or they'll give you know, $2 more for a few months, and they'll take that back. Or once again, they'll just give the workers some type of perk, like everybody gets, I don't know, a free Xbox. Or these are the things that they'll do. These actual things that they'll do. They'll give the workers a pizza party, candy, or whatever will make them feel like they're being appreciated. And it's not enough, but to a worker that pretty much comes from the urban community or a low impoverished community, and this is like this job is all they have to support their family, of course it's going to be hard for them to speak up against their employer. And also you got to think about the work pool itself. I was working next to people that, you know, are getting second chances in life. Some that made the wrong decision, or some that's still making the wrong decision. How can me get these people to want to walk out on that? It's not that simple. So we got to make sure before we unionize, we have an alternative solution for them. If something was to happen, if they were to get terminated, or if they were to get retaliated against. So that's what I've been building for the last 8 months, alternative solution, to the point where now if I go back to that same facility and try to unionize it, people can see like, oh yeah, well, he spoke up, but we were able to receive this. he did this, and we were able to get that. So me being the sacrificial lamb, I cost the company $4 billion because now they were forced to implement the temperature checking, the COVID testing, the PPE that everybody's wearing now at Amazon. That all happened after I was fired.
So what you lay out there, I think is I mean, I've heard you make this point before. I'm glad you're making it here. It's crazy important that laying the groundwork and preparation to make it easy for people to do the right thing, or more realistic for people to do the right thing. We can't just keep asking people to take risks without organizing some sort of support network for them. And that was a large part of what unions are supposed to do, to prepare people to suffer strikes, work stoppages, even firings, to take risks so that other working people. And to this issue of convenience, that was what I was always raised to understand was the point of the labor movement struggle in this country and elsewhere, but primarily in this country, was that the point is you're supposed to be willing to pay a little more for a product, go the extra step for a product or whatever as a consumer, because the point is you're supporting the improved work conditions and pay of laborers. So this idea that we would continuously go back to something that's easy, even as it undercuts people in our own either class or community, is really difficult. I want to go through a couple, but I think so what I think I need to do, Chris, forgive me for I actually didn't even think about this. I have, since you've started this all year, I have gone, on a personal slowdown with Amazon. But I think it's appropriate right here. I don't even know if we can do this, but I think you should walk me through the actual cancellation of my account.
It was funny. I wish I could, because I as long as I've been with the company, I never really ordered from them, and so I wouldn't even know how to actually cancel it, because I never had it. I had different type of subscription. I had like Amazon Music, because I like to listen all the time. I never was a customer like that. So what I used to do is like use somebody else's account.
Right.
But I can tell you now, I think if you go, we can try together, man. I'm down. I'm down.
I mean, so look, I'm actually, I was trying to do this, but I didn't want to lose my concentration on what you were saying, but I was trying to quickly pull it up. So this is the page, right? This is my account page, right? This is showing up on the screen, right?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure if you go to the profile settings or
profile settings.
Is it I want to say the top left where your name is.
Yeah, here.
Oh no, that's the location.
I don't need that my address up on the screen like that.
No,
that's probably not a good idea.
Go to all.
Hold on. Yeah, all.
Scroll down. Let me see if it's all the way down. It might be all the way down. I'm pretty sure it's like
your account, right? Because that's where I thought I was.
Your account.
But so yeah, because that's where I was here, and that's what I was trying to find. Is there something that says cancel service or cancels? But that's where I was starting. I didn't want to lose concentration while you were talking, but that's what I was looking for. And as you can see here, obviously they didn't want to make it that easy.
Difficult. Wow.
So this might take more than just we could do right here. I thought it would be kind of, as you were talking, I was like, it might be a nice little thing to do while you're here. Just go ahead and, but the point is, I'm going to do it after hearing you, make this, lay it out all right here. I'm going to do it. So if we can't find it,
yeah, this looks different. I'm like looking at it.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Wow, they're smart. I gotta give
smart. I mean, they know what they're doing. So everything else is very easy.
I mean,
But
I remember it used to just be like a cancel subscription, and then that'd be it. They walk you through a process, like a 1, 2, 3 thing. But
wait, when somebody is saying top right where it says your name, but that's where over here.
there you go. That's what I was saying. It's like a drop down.
Switch account.
Memberships and subscriptions.
Okay. Because I thought that was saying the yeah, see, that just says the stuff, all the stuff we're paying for.
I would say it should be a way if you
because these are just all the channels.
If you go, if you click on that drop down, does it have
cancel?
Canceled. No.
Canceled and expired. This doesn't. It's not telling me. See, I can cancel all of these individual subscriptions. Wait, there it is, right here. Right, manage subscription to Amazon Prime. Right.
Right there, you go.
Go to my Prime membership. That I don't want to have all this information up here. That's why you got to be careful. But dang, membership update, cancel, and more. Manage your household.
And subscription.
And membership. Hold up, I missed it. Hold up, that was it right there. End membership. Right, you will lose access to Prime benefits. Nope. Cancel. Right.
Cancel.
Before you go. Before you go. Nope. Continue to cancel. Wow, they dang. Nope. Pause. Nope. End. How about that? Boom. Sorry to see you go.
To the 20. You still got into the 23rd.
So technically, we could still do the holiday stuff if necessary.
Yeah,
but
out the way last year, there you go.
So that's a good compromise for everybody, right? So if everybody who still has their stuff now, if they do what I did today, they could still do their holiday shopping. Right.
They put in 2 weeks. I think it's like, a little grace period to get up out of there. And I encourage you to all do it. Utilize this 2020 and just put this terrible year behind us the right way.
No doubt. Yeah, man. Hey, so I'm glad I could do that to show a little bit of love and solidarity. Hey, I remember my mother had me not eating grapes when I was a kid in solidarity with the grape strikers in Central Southern America. So I started, from jump, we this is what we do. We didn't have bananas for a while, boycotting Dole as a kid. So this is easy.
Look at the button.
And it'll make it easy to go back and support Black and other small businesses directly.
Exactly. Canceling money, and also now for anybody put the $12, $13 or whatever you're paying towards an organization or a person that you support for this movement, because that's what it's about. We definitely need help organizing, especially from my experience of the way we're doing it, traveling, expenses that we can't cover all the time. So I'm using my unemployment checks. I'm trying to, stack these things up and also use support from the communities to try to move my whole organization across country sometimes. So I encourage everybody to do the same thing. Cancel and support us.
Yeah, man. So look, you've been gracious enough to give us this close to an hour here. Obviously, we could rap about this all day, but I know you have a lot going on. I want to just see if there are if anybody has any last comments or questions for Brother Chris before we wrap this up. Please drop them in there. Otherwise, please definitely. I always like to bring, man, this. My godfather, Thomas Porter, here, longtime activist, knows all of this stuff. We don't need to call him today. We figured it out.
Yeah, we got it.
we worked our way through it. So I would definitely encourage people to go to tcoew.org and support there. please drop something in Chris's Cash App if you haven't already. If you can, I know obviously it's more difficult than normal times, but if you're going to spend some money, please do it. Please do encourage other people to drop out of Amazon, if and until they do something that massively changes the way they relate to workers and the wealth that they create. Let's see, Tall M's Lumen. That's it. Luke My Nation. I mean, please support them as well. Some great broadcasting coming through them. Just some small things that we can do. I mean, obviously it'll make some inconvenience in our life about ordering, and I have to, find some other shows that I'm, or access to shows if I need to watch them. But this is kind of like, these are like bare minimums that I think people should be doing. So anyway, Chris, let me give you any last words, man, before we let you go. And again, I want to thank you very much for not only coming to my class earlier this semester, but coming through here as well. Definitely best wishes and continued strength in your struggle, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I meant to tell you that too. That's funny because Morgan State was actually one of my choices when I was in high school. It was definitely one of my choices to go. Being from New Jersey, it was easy, convenient, close to home. And I remember I was supposed to go on a visit, but I ended up going down, unfortunately, to Florida, thinking that I was going to start a life down there. But minimum wage back then when Bush was in office, forget about it.
Yeah, really.
And the cost of gas, it brought me right back up.
Right back up. Yeah, we get a lot of Jersey in New York, folks.
I remember Morgan State was definitely top 5 on my list at the time back in 2007, and so it's great that I had the opportunity to actually speak to a class there now, and looking forward to doing that again as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, not only there, multiple or more HBCUs across the country. Hopefully soon, sooner than later, because I spoke to a lot of, Ivy Leagues and the real well-known colleges out there. But for me, it's more sentimental when I talk to the Black community, especially to the HBCUs, because once again, the media, the type of media that we watch are in tune with, it's not always the major media like channel, the Fox 5s and the CNNs and all of that. I'd rather talk to the community directly, and doing that, I think, is the best way through classrooms. So thank you for having me on and invited me to do that, because it made me feel good to speak and actually get a reaction in real time from your students. And I seen it, I seen it in their facial expressions. It really, hit home for them, especially some of the workers that, work at Walmart and the Amazon facility down there in that area. So I know, I hope that it awoke in them to see what's really going on and see how they relate to that situation.
Oh man, if I didn't make it clear enough, let me just say again while we're here that it absolutely did. And I mean, even while you were there, the response that they had for you was different and particular. No disrespect, I bring a lot of surefire folks through my classes, but you had a very particular engagement and reaction, or elicited a very particular reaction from them that was very meaningful. So we'll definitely, to my class, I'll be trying to build this out as something broader within this new move I'm making within the university. So happy that this is happening into the African American Diaspora Studies program. So we'll be bringing you to that as well, and certainly inviting you to that. So you haven't heard the last from me at all, for sure. And certainly, hey, we appreciate the donations. I will. I didn't make this clear either. Anything that comes to me, certainly during this session or comes as a result of this session, I'll be just passing on to Chris. So we appreciate the support. Please do, if you haven't, hit him up. And again, thank you. I don't want to mess up the name here, but thank you very much for that. And I'll make sure that gets passed on to Chris as well. And yeah. Speaking of the media that we watch, we were talking about the review of the Small Axe series, and I'll have to hurry up and watch this. Riverman, you make a good point, and I appreciate the heads up on that as well. And absolutely, and this is my godfather again asking, Chris, while you're here, just this connection. Bill Lucy is one of the co-founders, along with my father and some others, of the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists. We would love to have that conversation, Brother Porter. So, and if we can work it out that Chris can be involved with that, I think that would be a perfect intergenerational historical kind of conversation. So we should absolutely work on that. Because again, I'm personally very excited about the work that you are doing, just because, again, as you talked about, the relationship of the Black liberation struggle to the labor movement is speaks very much to my to me in my heart. So thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that I'm able to do that for you as well, and for myself as well. This is you asked me already, was I a part of this before I got fired? No, I wasn't. I embraced it, started educating myself on it, and now I'm fully invested in it. This is my new full-time job. And we're talking about generational wealth. This is one way that we can get it back, taking it back from the billionaires that we help make become billionaires, give it back to our communities. One thing we could do for sure, canceling your memberships, standing in solidarity with the workers, and also taxing the 1% class and giving that tax, distributing it back to our communities so that we can once again create our generational wealth that we rightfully deserve.
Look, I'm glad you said that. Let me just, I use that.
I like that picture.
Yeah. And I actually meant to ask you about that specifically. When you say tax Bezos, there is a specific platform that you all are advocating of taxing him, but that class, to redistribute the wealth that I think you rightly and brilliantly point out, we are all creating.
Exactly. 1 to 3% class. The 1 to 3% class. If you in the country, in America, it's only 800. I think it's about 820 billionaires. That's it. 1%. 820 of them, and 112 of them, I believe, can take care of the entire world and still be rich.
Right.
Including Jeff Bezos. Absolutely, Jeff Bezos, the richest man. So why don't we want to take something back from that? I don't understand, but this is the disproportionate of how we are suffering out here. The poor gets poor and the rich get rich. COVID-19 exposed that. It stripped America down to its true colors. It stripped America down to how capitalism runs this country. It's the United States of corporations. And now we have an opportunity. The window of opportunity is now. If we don't fight back now, we can't expect the 1 to 3% to take care of us after it's all said and done. So that's what I'm trying to do while we have this opportunity in history and in time, during these unprecedented times to fight back. We absolutely must do it, because we cannot. Life is not going to be what it was pre-COVID. So while we have time to change into this transition, let's make sure that we benefit everybody.
Yeah, right on. Hey, again, man, Chris Smalls, thank you very much, man. I couldn't be more thankful to you for coming through and doing this, and for the work you're doing. We'll continue to support. And again, you have not heard the last from me. We will definitely be in touch to get you back here and to Morgan, everywhere else. And someone said, don't forget about FedEx too. Yeah, nah, man, nobody's forgot.
No, May 1st, we protested with FedEx, UPS, Walmart, Target. Everybody's an essential worker. FedEx has definitely been in solidarity with Amazon employees for sure. 100%.
Right on. All right, my man. Again, what else can I say? Thank you very much again. As I always end these broadcasts, and I know to you we say peace if you're willing to fight for it, like Fred Hampton used to say, and you are certainly doing that work. So thank you very much, and peace to you, Chris, and keep it up, man.
Everybody, thank you.
Yes,
appreciate
it. Yes, indeed. All right, everybody. I just want to again thank Chris Smalls for doing this, and thank all of you for who are here, able to be here live. Thank you very much. Thanks for your contributions. Those that come to me will go get as soon as I hang up here. Go straight over to Chris. Please do like, subscribe, share, retweet, and all of that kind of stuff. We have many more of these kinds of conversations coming up very soon. Dr. Joseph Cooper is going to be here Monday morning talking about radicalism in sports, Black activism in sports. Tandasizwe Chimaranga is coming soon to talk about the world according to this powerful sister, talking about Lovecraft Country and many other things. In fact, if you have time, check out her Clubhouse conversation later today about that. If you're on that app, go check that out. And then we also have Dr. Keto Swan coming up. We have Dr. Kwesi Conadu coming up. We have my brother Wendell Haynes just worked out. He's going to come on here and talk about the fact that he is the work he's been doing, scoring a lot of the movies and TV shows that you are watching and loving. Why they sound so good. He's going to come here and talk with us about that. So a lot of good things coming up here at I Mix What I Like Live and at imixwhatilike.org and at I Mix What I Like in general. So again, thanks everybody. I really appreciate it. If you've seen this live, seeing this later, thank you very much. And we'll catch up with you. Peace again, as always, if you're willing to fight for it, and we'll catch you in the whirlwind. Take care, everybody.
I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like.